Cody here with Gung Ho Dog Training, and this video is all about place training. It's actually going to be a 3-part video series, so there's going to be this video and then 2 more videos to follow, and they're going to teach you how to place train your dog. If you don't know what place training is or why it's important, I'm going to explain all of that to you, and so let's go ahead and jump right into it. This is my puppy, Rue, and she is a Labrador Retriever. She is developing really quickly. She's really smart. We're doing a lot of training with her, and one of the things that I have been teaching her is place training. If you saw in one of the previous videos of luring and shaping, I did a little bit of shaping the place behavior with her, and I've been using this box. In this video, we're going to talk about how to introduce place training to your dog. And there's going to be 2 more videos to follow. In the next video, we're going to talk about tying in the verbal cue to a point where the dog is not necessarily getting rewarded immediately every time, and how to really get the dog to move from one place to another place. The 3rd video is going to be about teaching location permanence with place, because we can get the dog to get up on here. However, teaching them that they have to stay here is another thing. So we're going to go over that in the 3rd video. So all 3 of these videos are going to tie together. I'm going to talk about all 3 of those concepts in each one of these videos. So stick around because it's all going to be super helpful. Rue has already been doing some place training with this box, so she has a concept, as you can see, to jump up on there, to sit down, and so I have a couple different other items this morning that she's never seen before, and we're going to see if we can place train her. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get something that is elevated. You want there to be a very clear step up that I'm either up on here or I'm not on here. The dog needs to have that clarity. You can use a mat. We have a floor mat here. Some people will use a mat for place training. Just a simple floor mat like this. However, the reason why I don't like using a mat is because it's just not as clear to the dog. Are you on this or are you not on this? If they lay down, maybe their paw goes off the side of the mat and now it's touching the floor. Well, do you correct that, or because their whole body's kind of still on the mat, do you let it slide? Over time, that might eventually mean the dog is farther and farther off, and then they learn, okay, as long as part of me is just touching this, then I'm okay. This is very similar to a dog bed, and so you can use your dog bed for place training. However, I just would say try to get something that's elevated. It's either a box or an actual Placeboard, or you can get an elevated dog bed. They're all kind of the same type of thing, but I'm going to go ahead and I'll leave that mat there, and then we're going to put this box right up on here. So this is the first thing you want to do with your pup. You want to get them in a confined environment, someplace where there's not a lot of other distractions. Usually a laundry room is really good. You can shut the door, take everything off the floor so that they can't get distracted, and you're just going to have this box in the middle of the room. Now you're going to do this before a meal time, so the dog is hungry. So you might take a piece of food, you'll give it to the puppy or the older dog. You can do this really with any age of dog, and you'll feed them a piece of food and you'll say, hey, I got food available to you. So now that she's aware that I have food, I'm just going to sit here. And a lot of times I won't be down on the ground like this. I will be standing up, but because of the angle of the camera, I'm doing this down close to the ground. And as the dog pays attention to whatever the object is, the Placeboard, I'm going to use a clicker and reward that behavior. So since she has already established kind of what to do with this box, I'm going to get something brand new for her and see how she does. So you can see kind of a brand new concept. So if you saw one of my other videos about teaching a dog to walk loosely on the leash, I use this concept. So this is just a 10-pound weight. I like to use the 10-pound because it's heavy, it's not going to slide around. And we'll put it on the ground, and I just want you to watch what I do with her. And I'll keep talking, but I also don't want to distract her. So whenever she pays attention to it, she look down at it, she put her nose on it, or if she puts a paw on it, then I'm going to reward that behavior. But I'm not trying to lure her at this point. I'm just free shaping. This is called free shaping. The dog has to be a problem solver. So there, she put her foot down on it. And there's a lot of waiting involved because we want them to be the problem solver. So she's sitting, she's looking at me, she's doing all these other things that we've done before. And I was trying to figure out how do I get that food? So there, she was paying attention to the weight, so I rewarded her for that. And what I should say is that my goal for her is to put her front 2 paws on the weight. So there, she put 1 paw on there. I just dropped a piece of food. Ideally, you don't want to reward for no reason, unless it's at the beginning when you're introducing the food. So she's got 1 paw on there. She's still on there, so I'm going to give her another one. She came off, so I'm not going to give her any food until I'm not going to give her any food until 1 paw gets back on there. It's got to be the front paws. I want both the front paws. She's doing really good. Good. We can put that verbal marker in there too. Good. She stepped on there and then she stepped off right away. So I clicked and I said good, but I didn't give her the piece of food because she wasn't still on there. I only want to reward her when her paws are on there. So she's really trying to figure this out, and she's kind of walking over it really fast, and I want her to get on there and to stay on there. So I clicked as she walked across, but then now she's a little confused. So each click, each reward should be progressing that behavior, whether it's an increase in the behavior of proximity to where you want it to be, or duration. She stayed there for longer. And I'll show you, a lot of times when you want a pup to do something for longer, you would click and then you would just wait, make a pause before you give the reward. And remember, this is breakfast. So she's hungry, she's motivated. She's a puppy, so I could do this in between meals as well, and she would still be super motivated. But if you do have a dog that's not super food motivated, you can do this before a meal time and actually feed their meal this way. As you can see, this takes a lot of time, but it allows the dog to problem solve themselves. She's trying to look at all these other places. So this is what free shaping is for place training. You're allowing the dog to progressively get farther and farther along. Now this 10-pound weight is, it might be a little bit challenging because it's small. And so I'm going to bring out a different placeboard and see how she does. So she has used that box before that I showed you at the beginning. But I'm going to bring out a different box that I use for the older dogs, and I have a feeling she's going to catch on to that very quickly because the concept is the same. However, it's good to be using different items because it's going to generalize what place means, and that's what we want. We want place to be generalized so that we can say place in multiple different. So this is the Placeboard that I use out in the field. I'm training, working with the hunting dogs. I just sprayed it off. So there, we get some paws on top of there. Get another paw on top of there, all 4. Good, good girl. Good. So now she's sitting on there. This is exactly what we want. And I'm gonna throw a piece over there to get her to hop off as she gets back on, and click and give her a piece of food. Yeah, so she understands this very well. And this is because we've done this with the box, the other box. So the concept has transitioned over to this place. But place is going to end up tying into anything that is get onto or get into. So whether it's a crate, if it's loading up in the truck, if it's going to the bed in the house, if it's a specific like Placeboard, there's a lot of different things. And so some people will train the word place, where you say the word place, or some people will say the word kennel. Like with Chief, if I say kennel, it means to get into something. If I say load up, it means to get in the truck. If I say place, it means to find a board like this. If I say go to your bed, it means go to your bed. So Chief has all these different words that mean different things. And then with Rue, I'm just using kennel. I'm just going to use kennel for everything. So this is where I want you to start. I want you to just start working with your pup. It's going to take some time. It's going to take multiple sessions. Get them to where they are, you know, the first session they might just get their front paws up on whatever it is. Or they might just smell it. You know, they might just get their nose to it. But you want to be able to free shape them so that it will establish that problem solving mindset. What it would look like if we were luring is we'd be using that food, trying to lure her up onto here. And we can make the behavior happen a lot quicker, but we're providing a lot of assistance to make that happen. So if you're trying to speed something up, like if someone's paying me to train their dog, usually I will tie in luring because it makes the process happen a lot quicker. But free shaping, I think, is the best because it allows the dog to problem solve, especially at this age, as they are just learning a lot of new concepts. I mean, she has this down so well that I could probably bring any box out here and she would figure it out. So I really want to get her to where she can go on this weight. Now that we've done that other box, she might pick up on this a little bit better. So if I were to do a brand new session with her, it might just be a little boring for you because it takes a while. But I want you to see what it's like because she doesn't know what to do. She's very used to hopping up on the box now that we've been doing that for a week. She still has that one paw in there, so I'm rewarding it. Now she's kind of off of it. So this is that process. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you get notified when I do post new videos, because This is a 3-part series, so in the next video I'm going to talk about how we start to tie in the verbal cue to that behavior and start getting some duration as well. But then in the 3rd video we're really going to talk about location permanence, and we're going to use some resistance techniques to get the dog to where they're wanting to get off, but they are deciding not to. Good girl. That's a good girl. So now she's got those front 2 paws on there, and I'm just gonna give her a jackpot here. I'm just gonna reward her with a ton of food. And then what I'll do is I'll throw one over there, and then we start over, trying to get those paws back up on there. Good. Good girl. Yeah, so she's starting to... Sometimes it just clicks. There's a moment where it just clicks for him. She's just got 2 paws on there. Eventually I could probably get her to get all 4 paws on here. That would be impressive because it's a small weight. But I might just lure her right now. See if I can get the other foot down. Good girl. There we go. Alright, we'll see you guys in the next video. Tell your pup I say hi.